Look, here's the deal. If you are still keeping your entire life savings in a big bank savings account, you are literally watching your future burn. Inflation is sitting at a stubborn 5% right now in May down sending Arshadeo, and your bank is probably paying you 5% Do the math. You are losing money every single second you breathe. I get it. The world feels heavy right now. Housing prices are stalled at zero growth, but they are still at all-time highs. The job market is slowing down, and those corporate layoffs we keep seeing in the news are real. I was exactly where you are back in Nansending Arshu. I graduated into a world that was falling apart. I had $0 and a lot of anxiety and a job at a company that felt like a meat grinder. I tried the shortcuts. Oh shit, I messed up big time early on. I thought I could outsmart the market with crazy option plays and buying garbage stocks because some guy on the internet said so. I lost thousands. It felt like I was digging a hole with a spoon while the walls were caving in, but then I stopped looking for the lottery ticket and started looking at the logic. Now my portfolio is sitting at over $1,000, and it is generating cash while I sleep. I am not a genius. I am just a guy who stayed sober while everyone else was drunk on hype. Here is the reality of how you actually build wealth in this Nansending Arshu economy. You need to stop working for money and start making money work for you. There are 5 ways we are going to do this starting today, with as little as $10. First, let us talk about dividend stocks. A stock is not just a flickering green or red line on your phone. It is a piece of a real company. When you buy a share of Coca-Cola or Pepsi, you own the trucks and the factories and the sugar. When they make a profit, they send you a check. That is a dividend. I love companies that have been paying these for whoosh years straight. They are called dividend kings. But be careful. If a company offers a 5% yield right now, run. In Nansending Arshu with the Fed funds rate around 5%, anything paying double digits is probably a trap. It usually means the stock price has crashed because the company is dying. Don't be the person catching a falling knife. Second, and this is where I put most of my energy, is dividend index funds. If picking individual stocks feels like a lot of work, I hear you. That is why I love ETFs like CHE or VIG. It is like buying the whole bouquet instead of trying to guess which flower is the best. You get instant diversification. If one company in the fund has a bad year, the other Joe carry the weight. For a beginner, I always suggest starting here. Look for a low expense ratio. Anything over 5% is basically the bank reaching into your pocket and stealing your lunch. Third, we have to talk about bonds. Bonds are boring, and in my early Arshu, I hated boring. But look at the world right now. Lending money to the government or a huge corporation is a lot safer than owning it. The US Treasury is paying decent yields right now. You can get into a fund like BND and just collect interest every single month. It won't make you a millionaire overnight, but it keeps your floor from falling out. Fourth, let us talk about REITs. Everyone wants to be a real estate mogul, but who has dollars for a down payment in this market? REITs are real estate investment trusts. They are companies that own malls and data centers and apartment complexes. By law, they have to pay out Josha of their taxable income to you. It is like being a landlord without having to fix a broken toilet at 10 a.m. I personally love data center REITs right now because AI is eating the world and all those computers need a place to sit. Finally, there is the high-yield savings account. This is your bunker. If you need this money in the next charmiance for an emergency or a car, do not put it in the stock market. The market is volatile. Put it in an online bank that is paying at least 5% or 5%. It is FDIC insured, meaning the government backs your cash. It is safe and it is liquid and it is better than nothing. My actual strategy is simple. I do T-share in broad market index funds like VOO. I do R-share in dividend growers like SHD. And I keep share in high growth tech like VUG. Because I still want that upside. I am a dollar cost averaging machine. Every 2 weeks when my paycheck hits a portion goes straight into the market. I do not care if the news says the world is ending. I do not care if the Fed raises rates or cuts them. I just buy. That is the secret. The people who win are the ones who can stay bored. The longest wealth is not about the 5% gain on some random crypto coin. Wealth is about owning the infrastructure of the world. If you start today with $10, you might only make $6 a year in dividends. That sounds like nothing, right? Wrong. That is a free dinner. That is a tank of gas. That is $6 you did not have to sell your soul for. When you see that first deposit hit your account, something changes in your brain. You realize that you do not have to be a slave to a cubicle forever. You start to see the path to freedom. I started with a $R payment from a fast food stock. I felt like a king. Now those payments cover my rent, but I had to start at zero just like you. The economy in Nansinin Arshado is weird, I know, but do not let the fear paralyze you. While everyone else is complaining about the price of eggs, you need to be buying the companies that sell the eggs. Stay clear and stay real and stay in the game. The only way to lose is to never start. I am here with you. Let us get this bread. I want to talk about why most of you are failing before you even begin. You are looking for the perfect time. There is no perfect time. The best time was years ago, and the second best time is right now. I remember sitting in my tiny apartment in Nansinin Arshii, watching the market swing, and thinking I should wait until it is cheaper. It never got cheaper, it just got more expensive while I sat on the sidelines. Do not be a spectator in your own life. Look at the numbers. If you invest $19 a month into a fund like VOO that returns roughly $500 on average, you will have over $19 in about sheer or she years. That is not a guess, that is math. Most people will spend that $19 on a car payment for a car that loses value every day. They will spend it on eating out at places they do not even like. They will spend it on clothes to impress people they do not even know. I decided to live below my means. I drove a she-year-old car, I ate at home, I focused on the gap between what I earned and what I spent. That gap is your freedom fund. The wider you make that gap, the faster you get out of the rat race. Here's another truth people do not want to hear. Your job is not your security. In Nansinin Arshado, your job is just a cash flow source. To fund your investments. Treat your career like a business. Get the money and then put that money to work. If you stop working tomorrow, does your income stop? If the answer is yes, then you are in danger. The goal is to get your dividends and interest to cover your basic living expenses. Once you hit that point, you are free. You can quit that job you hate, you can travel, you can actually start living, but you have to pay the price now so you can pay any price later. I am not talking about skipping every coffee. I am talking about the big moves, the VOO moves, the SAG moves, the high-yield moves. Stop listening to the noise on social media. Stop listening to the influencers who are renting Lamborghinis to sell you a course. The real wealth is built in silence. It is built in a boring brokerage account that you check once a month. It is built by being the person who stays consistent when everyone else gives up. I have seen so many people start and then quit when the market goes down by VOO. They panic and they sell. That is when the rich buy. When there is blood in the streets, you go shopping. In Nansinin Arshado, the streets might feel a bit bloody. Rates are high and growth is slow. This is exactly when you build the foundation of your empire. Do not wait for the news to tell you it is safe. By then, the opportunity is gone. I am holding your hand through this. I am showing you my $19 portfolio because I want you to know it is possible. I am just a normal person who followed the plan. No inside info and no rich parents. Just discipline. Let us talk about the specific breakdown again. Bavanditsisha and VO gives you exposure to the biggest companies in America. You are betting on the entire country. Bavanda Arsher and SHD gives you that sweet growing income. Those companies are machines that print cash. Bavanda Shur and VUG gives you that spice and that growth. That is how you beat the average, and your cash stays in a high-yield account as an emergency fund. Never invest money you need for rent. That is gambling. We are investors and we play the long game. Every dollar you save and invest is a little soldier working for you. Eventually you have an entire army, and that army will fight for your freedom. I want you to leave a comment below. Tell me what your first $10 is going into. Is it VOO? Is it a high-yield account? Is it a REIT? Just declare it. Once you say it out loud, it becomes real. We are building a community of people who are waking up. No more excuses. No more working for pennies. It is time to take control. I will see you in the next video. Stay focused and stay hungry. I want to add something very important. Most of you are worried about the debt crisis and the national deficit in Nansinin Arshado. Yes, it is a problem. The government is printing money and the dollar is losing purchasing power. But that is exactly why you need assets. Cash is a liability if you hold too much of it. Stocks and real estate and gold and even some crypto are assets that rise when the currency falls. By owning VOO, you own productive assets that adjust their prices for inflation. If the cost of a Snickers bar goes up because of inflation, Mars and Hershey just raise their prices. As a shareholder, you capture that. You are protected by the very thing that is hurting everyone else. This is the ultimate counter move. While everyone else is getting poorer because their salary cannot keep up with prices, your assets are growing. This is how the wealth gap widens. I am telling you this so you can be on the right side of that gap, I get it, it feels unfair, but complaining about the weather does not stop the rain. You need an umbrella. And that umbrella is your investment portfolio. I remember feeling so overwhelmed by all the tickers and the charts, PE ratios, and dividend yields and moving averages. Forget all that for now. Just focus on the total amount you can contribute every month. Your savings rate is more important than your return rate in the beginning. If you have $10 and you get a BAFNZ by return, you only have down $10. But if you have $10 and you get a BAFNZ return, you have $10. The math changes as you grow. In the early stages, your hustle and your ability to save are the primary drivers. Do not get obsessed with finding the next Yaldinin X gem. Obsess over how you can increase your income and decrease your expenses. Use your Joe to Woo to fund your Woo to Joe. I spent my weekends researching these funds instead of partying. I spent my evenings reading about how the Fed works. That knowledge is now paying me dividends. Literally, I want you to think about where you want to be in Artin Senin. If you keep doing what you are doing now, where will you be? If you like the answer, then keep going. If you do not like the answer, then change the input. The Artin Ardio economy is unforgiving to those who are passive. You have to be aggressive about your future. You have to be the one who takes the risk. But the biggest risk of all is doing nothing. The risk of being 60 years old and still living paycheck to paycheck is terrifying. The risk of not being able to help your parents when they get old is terrifying. The risk of being stuck in a job that kills your soul because you need the health insurance is terrifying. I chose a different kind of risk. The risk of the market going down temporarily. I can handle that. I cannot handle a life of regret. So let us make a pact right now. We are going to be the ones who make it. We are going to be the ones who stay clear-headed when the media is screaming. We are going to be the ones who buy the dip. We are going to be the ones who reach that $1 milestone and then the $1 milestone. It is all just numbers on a screen until it becomes freedom in your life. I am drinking my coffee right now thinking about how far we can go. It is late and the world is quiet. This is when the real work happens. This is when you decide who you are. Are you a consumer or are you a producer? Are you a victim or are you an owner? I know what I am. I hope you know what you are too. Thanks for sticking around. I know this was a long one, but I needed to get this off my chest. The reality of Artin Ardio is that nobody is coming to save you. The government is not coming to save you. Your boss is not coming to save you. You are the hero of this story. Grab the wheel and let us drive. I will see you guys in the comments. Peace out. Actually, let us dive even deeper into the SHD vs VOO debate. I see people arguing about this all the time on the forums. VO is the S&P Woodinin. It is the standard. It gives you Apple and Microsoft and Amazon and Nvidia. It is growth and stability combined. SAG is different. It focuses on quality companies that have a history of paying dividends. It does not have the high-flying tech stocks. It has things like Home Depot and Pepsi and Chevron. In a year like Artin Arsen or Artin RC, VO crushed SAG because of the AI boom, but in a choppy or flat market like we are seeing in parts of Artin Ardio, SHD can often hold up better because of those cash payments. I use both because I do not want to choose. I want the growth of the tech giants and I want the stability of the dividend machines. When you combine them, you get a smoother ride, and that is the key to staying in the market. If your portfolio drops back into censure and you cannot sleep, you will sell at the bottom. But if you have a mix that only drops back into shuwu and keeps paying you dividends, you are more likely to hold on. The best portfolio is the one you can actually stick with when things get ugly. I have seen people go all in on TQQ, which is a leveraged tech fund. They make Bafinza Wush in a month and think they are gods. Then the market turns and they lose Bafinza Basha in a week. They wash out and never invest again. That is a tragedy. Slow and steady is not just a cliché. It is the only way for Bafinza Joshijo of people. I want you to be the Bafinza Iwen Xiaoshi understands this. Think about your money as a forest. You do not plant a tree and then cut it down the next month because it did not grow 10 feet. You water it and you wait. You protect it from the wind. And after a few years, you have shade. After a decade, you have a forest. Most people are trying to sell the seeds before they even hit the ground. Do not be that person. Look at the compound interest charts. The magic happens in the final years. The first $1 is the hardest. Charlie Munger used to say that you have to get that first $1 even if you have to walk everywhere and eat nothing but beans. He was right. Once you hit $1, the money starts doing the heavy lifting. A Bafinza Shur MOV on $1 is $1. That is more than most people can save in a year. That is when the engine starts humming. I hit that mark and I felt the shift. It was like a weight was lifted off my shoulders. I want that for you. I want you to feel that momentum. So start where you are. If you have shoe dollars, invest shoe dollars. If you have $10 invest $10. Just get the soldiers on the field. The Liaotening Arshidome market is offering us some interesting entries. Valuations are coming back to earth in some sectors. Energy is looking solid. Financials are interesting with the current rates. Tech is still the king, but it is a crowded trade. Spread it out, stay diversified, and for the love of everything, wholly keep your fees low. Wall Street wants to sell you complicated products with BFNZE or BFNZR fees. They will tell you they can beat the market. They usually cannot. The simple VO and SCHD strategy beats the vast majority of hedge funds over a 10-year period. Why pay a guy in a suit to underperform the market with your money? Do it yourself. It takes 5 minutes a month. Open your app and buy the shares and close the app. Go back to your life. Go spend time with your family. Go work on your side hustle. Go for a run. These high is not supposed to be a full-time job. It is supposed to support your life. I spend less than an hour a month on my actual investments. The rest of the time I am focused on earning more and living better. That is the true Ding Zhou way. We are not day traders. We are owners of the most productive assets in human history. Act like an owner. Owners do not panic when the stock price moves a few points. Owners look at the long-term value. I am looking at Arding Sidine and Arding Wuding. Are people still going to be using iPhones? Are people still going to be drinking Coke? Are people still going to be using the internet? If the answer is yes, then the companies in VO will be fine. And so will you. It really is that simple. It takes guts to do nothing when everyone else is screaming. It takes discipline to save when everyone else is spending. I know you have it in you. You are here watching this late at night for a reason. You are hungry for something more. You are tired of the lies. I am here to tell you the truth. The path is open. The steps are clear. Now you just have to walk. 1 foot in front of the other, 1 share at a time, 1 dividend at a time. We are going to look back at Arding Ardo as the year we took control, the year we stopped being victims of the system and started becoming the ones who run it. I am proud of you for even considering this. Most people will never even try. They will just complain until they die. Not us. We are building. We are growing. We are winning. I will see you at the finish line. And remember, stay clear and stay real. The world is yours if you have the patience to take it. Good night and keep stacking. One more thing before I go. Do not forget to automate. Human beings are bad at discipline. We have emotions and we get tired. If you have to manually transfer money every month, you will eventually forget or find an excuse to spend it. Set up an automatic transfer from your bank to your brokerage. Make it happen the day after you get paid. If the money never sits in your checking account, you won't miss it. This is the ultimate hack. I automated my path to $. I made the decision once, and then I let the machine do the work. This removes the stress. You do not have to decide to be disciplined every month. You just have to be disciplined once. Set it and forget it. That is how you win the war against your own impulses. Okay, now I am really done. Go get started. No more watching videos. Go open that account. Go buy that first fractional share. The future is waiting. Let us go. You know what, I actually want to talk about the Arding graduation experience for a second. It was a weird time, no ceremony and no parties, and just a screen and a PDF of a diploma. The world was locked down and the economy was in a tailspin. A lot of my friends just gave up. They moved back home and stopped trying. I felt that pull too, but I realized that the chaos was an opportunity. Asset prices were crazy and things were changing fast. I started my job in a spare bedroom. I spent my first few paychecks on a decent desk, and then the rest went into the market. I did not buy a new car or a fancy watch. I bought VTI and VOO. People called me cheap. They called me boring. But in Arding Ardo, those same people are struggling to pay their rent while I have a 6-figure cushion. Being boring in your Arsha S is the ultimate flex in your Senshimouse. Do not let the social media pressure get to you. You see people on Instagram in Dubai or Tulum, and you feel like you are falling behind. Most of that is debt. Most of that is fake. True wealth is the ability to say no. No, I do not have to work this weekend. No, I do not have to take that promotion I do not want. No, I am not worried about the recession. That is what I am building. That is what I want for you. It is about autonomy. It is about power. The power over your own time. Time is the only thing we can never get back. I am trading my money for time.